Welcome to the Insurance Agents and Brokers Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the audio version of Coverage Corner. Coverage Corner is a monthly column in IA&B's primary agent magazine. The January 2026 column is entitled Ring in the New Year with New CGL Exclusions by Cathy Trischan. Insurance Services Office, Inc., or ISO, is ringing in the new year with several new endorsements that can be used to limit coverage under liability policies starting in January 2026. Three of the new exclusions for commercial general liability, or CGL, policies are discussed here. Exclusion: assault or battery, CG40510126. Many insurers have been adding their own versions of assault and battery exclusions to CGL policies for years. These are commonly found on policies written to cover businesses with liquor, entertainment, hospitality, and habitational exposures. Some insurers add them to policies covering other risks, such as commercial lessor's risk and retail. ISO's endorsement, like most, excludes assault and battery even if the perpetrator is not an insured, a customer or guest, or someone otherwise connected to the insured's operation. The endorsement excludes bodily injury, property damage, and personal and advertising injury arising out of the actual, alleged, or threatened assault or battery of any person committed by anyone, any act or omission by any insured in connection with the prevention or suppression of an assault or battery, negligence or other wrongdoing in hiring, training, employment, investigation, supervision, monitoring, reporting to or failure to report to the proper authorities, or retention of a person for whom any insured is legally responsible and whose conduct would be excluded under the endorsement. Unlike many insurer endorsements, this ISO exclusion does not include a carve-back to provide a sublimit of coverage for assault and battery claims. When the endorsement is added to a CGL, it is important to explore stand-alone coverage options for assault and battery. Exclusion: human trafficking, CG40490126. Human trafficking, both sex and forced labor trafficking, is an increasing concern for insurers, especially for those covering hospitality businesses. Other enterprises where trafficking is a concern include agriculture, construction, transportation, and technology companies. As with assault and battery exclusions, some insurers have been adding their own versions of trafficking exclusions to policies for years. Trafficking is a concern to insurers because a civil right of action is granted to victims of human trafficking under the Trafficking Victims Protection Act and its reauthorizations. Below is language from Chapter 77 Peonage, Slavery, and Trafficking in Persons of 18 U.S.C. Section 1595. An individual who is a victim of a violation of this chapter may bring a civil action against the perpetrator, or whoever knowingly benefits, or attempts or conspires to benefit, financially or by receiving anything of value from participation in a venture which that person knew or should have known has engaged in, an act in violation of this chapter. In this new endorsement, ISO defines human trafficking to include 1. The recruitment, harboring, transportation, provision, obtaining, patronizing or soliciting of a person for the purpose of a commercial sex act which is induced by force, fraud, or coercion, or in which the person induced to perform such act has not attained 18 years of age. Or 2. The recruitment, harboring, transportation, provision, or obtaining of a person for labor or services through the use of force, fraud, or coercion for the purpose of subjection to involuntary servitude, peonage, debt bondage, or slavery. Using language similar to that in the assault or battery exclusion, ISO's endorsement excludes bodily injury, property damage, and personal and advertising injury arising out of the actual or alleged trafficking, failure to prevent or suppress trafficking, or negligence in hiring, training, etc. As was the case with exclusion, assault, or battery, when this endorsement is added to a CGL policy, it is more important than ever to explore standalone coverage for human trafficking claims. Exclusion, Generative Artificial Intelligence, CG40470126. One is hard pressed to think of a faster growing area of concern than artificial intelligence, or AI. While traditional AI analyzes data to perform specific tasks, generative AI creates content. It is this ability of generative AI that is of concern to insurers and which is the subject of this exclusion. ISO's endorsement excludes bodily injury, property damage, and personal and advertising injury arising out of generative artificial intelligence. Generative artificial intelligence is defined as a machine-based learning system or model that is trained on data with the ability to create content or responses, including but not limited to text, images, audio, video, or code. While it is too soon to know how insurers will use these endorsements, being aware that they are on the horizon is the first step in preparing to properly protect our clients. Till next time. Written by Cathy Trischan, CPCU, CRM, CIC, ARM, AU, AAI, CRIS, MLIS. TRIP is IA&B's commercial lines education consultant. She works with our CIC and CISR programs, as well as our live CE webinars. Catch her at one of our upcoming courses at iabforme.com/education.
Insurance Agents and Brokers is the premier resource and champion for independent insurance agencies in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware. For more information, visit iabforme.com.